and reconstructed the act of how he snuffed lives out of his victims. Autopsy has been carried out on all the corpses, confirming the cause of death.
The accused pastor Chidebere Okorafor admitted to the crime but pleaded for forgiveness from the families of the deceased.
I'm sorry for the killing the deaths of these people, and I want to be forgiven because it did not happen intentionally. I want the families to have mercy. The family of Oloma, the family of Mr. Joseph.
The families of the deceased had called for justice to be served over the death of their loved ones when the suspect was arrested at Oyingbo Divisional Police Headquarters.
The Nigerian Army and Police Force has exchanged words over their roles in the kidnap of 110 girls from their secondary school in Dapchi, Yobe State. You will recall that the girls were kidnapped last week Monday after Boko Haram invaded Dapchi. In a statement by the State Police Commissioner Sumono Ampumaliki, he denied that the Army fired the first salvo when it claimed it withdrew its officials from Dapchi only after it handed over the security of the community to the police. Meanwhile, the spokesperson for the Nigerian Army Maiduguri, Onyema Wachuku, said the soldiers were withdrawn from Dapchi on January 10, exactly 40 days before the attack and not a week before, as stated by the Yobe State Governor, Ibrahim Gaidam. The former aviation minister, Stella Odua, has appeared before an Economic and Financial Crimes Commission panel, the EFCC. Odua was grilled for about 8 hours by detectives over a 9 trillion naira contract awarded to ISEC Security Nigeria Limited for the procurement and installation of security equipment in 22 airports. A United States firm, Presbyterian Limited, has alleged that the former minister hijacked the contract for a firm in which she has a stake. The allegations against her include non-execution of the project in some airports, abandonment of the contract and diversions of part of the contract sum, and suspected case of money laundering. Meanwhile, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has urged the Federal High Court in Lagos not to unfreeze a Unity Bank account which belongs the balance of 1 billion naira belonging to a businesswoman, Bola Shagaya. The anti-graft agency claimed that the sum of 1.9 billion naira was the balance of a total of 3 billion, which was Shagaya received as founder fees on behalf of an organization, Women for Change, being spearheaded by former First Lady Patience Jonathan. The EFCC claimed that the 3.3 billion naira was realized through Shagaya's fraudulent activities and the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, where she allegedly influenced the fraudulent allocation of dual-purpose kerosene to Index Petrolube Africa Limited with the aid of the former First Lady, Patience Jonathan. And still, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu, says the commission is standing by its decision to hold the 2019 presidential and National Assembly elections on the same day, while the governorship and state legislative elections will come next. The National Assembly opposed the sequence of the election and amended the Electoral Act such that the National Assembly election will hold first, while the presidential election would come last. The bill has since been transmitted to the President Muhammadu Buhari for assent. However, Yakubu said the commission would continue to prepare for elections based on its own schedule since it could not make plans based on speculations. And the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC in Ekiti State, has expressed concerns that over 215,000 permanent voters' cards are yet to be collected less than 5 months to the governorship election in the state. The resident electoral commissioner, Abdul Ghani Raji, who disclosed this in Ado-Ekiti to journalists in his office on preparations for the governorship polls, said despite the enlightenment being carried out by the agency, the people still wouldn't pick up the cards. Raji said the state government has been partnering traditional rulers, religious organizations, political parties, and the media to increase the political awareness of the electoral in Ekiti State. He also said that cases of underage voting won't be allowed during the July 14 governorship elections in the state. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has asked parents of candidates sitting for the 2018 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination to stay away from computer-based centers. The JAMB registrar, Ishak Oloyede, who disclosed this in Abuja while monitoring the mock UTME at the Kogo and Veritas University CBT centers, said that some parents had formed the habit of hanging around the centers to engage in examination malpractice. Oloyede urged the UTME candidates to desist from cheating during the examination, as the board would monitor all the computers to be used. He also said that all electronic devices, such as phones, headsets, flash drives, and other items such as wristwatches and calculators, remain banned for the examination. Now, experts in the health sector have called on the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation, NBC, to sanction MultiChoice, the owners of DSTV and GoTV, for promoting smoking amongst Nigerian youth through the Big Brother Nigeria reality show. The group is accusing the promoter of Big Brother Nigeria of violating the National Tobacco Act in the country.
Reactions have continued to trail the excesses in the reality show Big Brother Nigeria, with different immoral scenes being displayed. Today, it is these experts in the health sector expressing disapproval over the recent smoking scenes in the ongoing Big Brother Nigeria show. They condemned the act, saying it will encourage young Nigerians to smoke. A cross-section of Nigerians had also expressed shock at the way smoking scenes were glamorized in the show with the theme Double Wahala.
Advertisement on this show means that they are endorsing cancer and they are endorsing the abuse of the rule of law in our country. We must not sacrifice public health on the altar of corporate greed. And it is just irresponsible for the country, the government, to continue to watch while one of the laws against the violation, against the promotion of smoking advertising is being violated, by other Nigerians.
They said despite moves to limit the ban on advertising, the tobacco industry continues exploiting every available opportunity to make their products to the youth.
Cigarettes are being placed in-house on this show. It's a flagrant violation of the National Tobacco Control Act, which has been in place for, this is almost 3 years now. So, it's all of us need to be very, very concerned about this.
We are calling on the relevant government institutions, most importantly the National Broadcasting Corporation, to immediately sanction the owners of DSTV and GoTV to stop using Big Brother Nigeria to promote smoking among our youths.
The group called on government at all levels and relevant agencies to begin enforcement of the 9 key provisions of National Tobacco Control Act that prohibits smoking in public places and bans sales of cigarettes in single sticks.
You're still watching Super Screen News at 10. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, we'll take some news from the business scene. Stay with us. Welcome back to Super Screen News at 10. And now for some business stories. The Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, has met with a delegation from the China Developmental Bank to discuss areas where the lender could be of assistance to the country. The meeting, which took place at the headquarters of the Finance Ministry, was attended by the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry, Mahmoud Duse, and top officials of China Development Bank, led by its chairman and president, Zheng Zijie. Adeosun, while addressing the bank officials, said the federal government was working hard to reposition the economy by addressing the infrastructural gap in the country. The minister also described the bank as an important partner to galvanize the needed funds for Nigeria in key sectors of the economy such as power, rail, and roads. The Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, has identified the regular payment of taxes by Nigerians as fundamental to the growth and development of the country. Adeosun, the media advisor, Oluyinka Akintunde, said if the economy is to record tremendous growth, the low level of tax compliance by Nigerians must be addressed. She said the federal government is mindful of the more reason it provided an amnesty window for tax defaulters to come forward to settle their outstanding tax obligations without being prosecuted. The minister said the amnesty program being implemented through the Voluntary Asset and Income Declaration Scheme would end by March 31st this year. The VAIDS, which commenced on July 1st, 2017, provides an opportunity for taxpayers to voluntarily and declare their assets and incomes before the deadline day. And the House of Representatives has faulted the no-case submission by the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, to President Muhammadu Buhari on the lingering oil prospecting license 245 deal, otherwise known as the Malabu oil deal. About 1.1 billion naira share of the federal government in the controversial sale was said to have been diverted by officials who handled the transaction. The senior officials who were frequently mentioned include a former Minister of Petroleum and Resources, Dizaini Madueke, and a former Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Mohamed Adoke, who served in the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan. Malami, in a recent letter to President Buhari, sought to withdraw any case against the former officials on the grounds that there were no evidence to initiate a successful prosecution. Reacting to the AGF's position, the House of Representatives vowed to carry out its investigation to a logical conclusion. You're watching Superscreen News at 10. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll take some news from the foreign scene and some sports stories. Do stay with us.